Happy Friday, friends. Okay, I thought I would come on this morning and show you my progress on my Spellcast collection. Okay, this was my first one I showed yesterday. And the paper is from Spellcast. This ephemera is the hat and the skull. And then I added the flowers. I fussy cut the moth out of the paper. And I shadow dropped the sentiment. And then there's black cobwebs. And I shadow dropped the spider web too. And used Wink of Wagman on there. Okay, so there's the first one. And then here's the second one. And again, it's the paper and the ephemera. And this is part of the ephemera. These little doodahs were all part of it. I added this butterfly with some gold. I made a shaker bow out of some tulle and put little stars, sequins in there that match this. And this little sparkly bow. And then added these flowers and put a little gold around on them. Oh, I'm way out of frame. I'm so sorry. Okay. Anyway, now you can see it good. Okay. And then I did this one. And the witch. Let me get over here. I'm out of my zone today. Okay, the witch, the pot, the cat, and the haunting. And then this is, I also found I had washi in Spellcast. So that's a strip of the washi, and so are these spiders. And so I cut a spider web out of, it's actually gold polka dot paper that came from Tuesday Morning, and it's glittered. I don't know if you can see that or not. And then I Wink of Wagman my cat. And then this is a flower I made from the petals that come in the, they got at Hobby Lobby. They're Prima petals, and I just chose what I wanted and made myself a crazy looking kind of spooky flower. And then this is this that I got from the Dollar Tree, actually last year. And I cut the leaves out and glued them down, and it makes it look like it's a part of the paper. I think that's a pretty cool effect on there. And then these are Cartwright confetti, and so I made it look like it was bubbling out of there, and it says haunting. So pretty happy with that one. And then, you know, it's been looking like it's going to rain for a few days. So Mr. Bones hasn't had his beach juju going. But today, he decided to. Okay, so this is where I am so far. So let me take him off his towel. Well, first, okay, this is his towel. And I used some trim that I got at Michael's last year on clearance that has adhesive on it that may or may not stick and is a total pain. It comes on these rolls of paper with like 10 different wonderful trims on it. But when you try to take one trim off, it's one of those things that'll make you say a swear word if you're not careful. Anyway, so there's his towel. Then I haven't posed him yet, but I did get his Speedo made. And let me tell you, making a Speedo for a skeleton is not the easiest thing you've ever done. So it's sort of a paper mache Speedo, if you will. I think it shows off his figure pretty good. See? Everything concealed. Okay, and he has his sunglasses, but I haven't positioned him yet. But there is his towel. Okay, so this time my scene is going to close. And you can see I'm covering the box, and I don't have the outside done yet, but this is the inside. So to store Mr. Bones, you'll just be able to fold him up. And so this is his ocean Okay, this is the sky. This is going to be the ocean. And I had some Seth After Sandcastle embossing powder. And I will probably use it around, but I wanted to cover the whole bottom with it because it just looks like sand and it's amazing. But I think it was such a big space that it was, I was afraid it was going to be a fire hazard. Because it was getting pretty stinky. So I will add some sand around, but I had this sand paper, and I tore it here at the edge to help it look, like the waves coming in. And I will make this look more like ocean and run it probably back to about right there. That's my plan. Okay, and then, what I will do is, once I get all that done, I'm going to position Mr. Bones and actually glue him down. And everything will be glued down so that the box can close for storage. And just in case you don't want Mr. Bones out all year, because some people don't. Okay, so that's where I am with Mr. Bones right now. I'm planning for him to have some sunscreen, some refreshments, maybe an umbrella if I can wing it. I'm not sure, but he is trying to get him a few rays. And he may have some friends floating out in the water too. You just never know where my head's going to go with that. But while I was doing this, I remembered a funny story. I've told y'all before that my husband and I love to go to estate sales. And so they have really amazing estate sales in our area. And so I think it was a few years ago, and I'm going to have to find the picture and show it to y'all because it's hysterical. So we were at this house, and you're walking through all the rooms, and a gentleman lived there, and he had passed away, and he had a life-size mannequin in his closet. And this guy had auburn hair. I mean, it wasn't human hair, but you know what I'm saying. It wasn't one of those now that are just molded hair. It was hair. There's no telling what this mannequin cost because mannequins are really expensive. And then he was just tan and cut. I mean, this mannequin, I don't know where this mannequin came from. Anyway, apparently he would put outfits on this mannequin and, see how his look was going to go, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so when I walked in and saw this mannequin, okay, there he was. And one arm was bent, and he had Mardi Gras beads on, and he had pants on, but no shirt. And he had a hat on, and he even had a belt on, and he had like a tie around his neck. I'm assuming, I don't know what the man did with him. Anyway, I was like, so I snuck over into the closet and I took a picture of me and this mannequin to send to my best friend. And I named him Francois. And I said, I met a new friend today. His name is Francois. How do you like him? He said to tell you bonjour. And so we laughed and laughed and laughed. Okay, so, my husband came in and caught me taking a picture of myself with this. And he was like, what are you doing now? And I said, I had to. And so he was laughing, So anyway, my best friend said, you need that mannequin. You need it. It is you. Because I used to work at a department store, which I'm not going to name right now. And at one point, they were just throwing a bunch of mannequins away. And they had ones in the children's department, and they were these crazy heads, and I loved them. And I got them, and they're part of my home decor. And then there was a body that had no head. Well, before the kids moved back in with us, upstairs in my craft room, I made this one mannequin into my Christmas tree up there. And I covered her, I made her a dress with Christmas tree garland you know, the greenery, the dress and the whole skirt to the ground. And then I decorated it, you know, and that was my Christmas tree up there. But she's in a closet now because there's no room for her. But anyway, so my best friend was saying, you know, you need Francois. You need him to go with your lady, even though my lady had no head. And and so I was telling Ronnie, and he was like, "You are not bringing that thing home." And I said, "I don't even know how much it was anyway, you know." No, I do know how much it was. It was $75. And I told my friend, I said, "He was $75, or maybe I would have." And Ronnie was like, "No, you would not. I'm not having that thing in my house." But I thought it was so funny, y'all. So anyway, carrying on, you know, we laughed and laughed about Francois. So several weeks go by, and you know, it's a weekend, and we're going to an estate sale, and we go into a different house. And guess who was there? Francois. And Francois had a name tag around his neck that came from whoever bought him or the estate sale that moved him that said, "Has anyone seen Susan?" So, you know, I had to make a picture with that. And Ronnie came in and I said, "See, I told you Francois wanted to go home with me." And he said, "If you bring that thing home, I'm going to cut it into a million pieces." So that was bizarre. And I have not seen Francois since. I don't know what he's up to. But anyway, I'm sure that he is somewhere having a good time. So y'all keep your eyes peeled for Francois. If you find him, you'll know him. He's very distinctive. Okay, y'all have a great weekend. I'm sure I'll be back again. Love you all. Blessings.